morning everyone, I'm Brianna, welcome back to my channel. Today is a great day after the hurricane we had yesterday, so that's so exciting. But today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my recent reads from July 20th to August 3rd. Unfortunately, I've only read 4 books and I only have 4 books to discuss with you guys, but I'm gonna get maybe a little more in depth with the books, or at least the synopsis, so if you guys are interested, you can definitely go check it out. Before I start, I wanted to share with you guys my Beauty and the Beast mug with my tea in it this morning. I actually got this in Disney last year. So yeah, it was a great purchase and I love it. But before I jump into the recent reads I've read, the book that I am currently reading is Crave by Tracy Wolff. This red hardback is to die for. I absolutely love it so much. The second book in the series comes out the end of September, so that is why I'm choosing to read this book, and also I was kind of in the mood for a book like this. So this is it's marketed as a YA paranormal fantasy, and it's about this girl named Gracie, or Grace, who her parents have died in a tragic accident, and she goes to live with her uncle in Alaska, who owns a mysterious elite boarding school. You know how those things go. And her cousin's there, and basically this, from what I gauge, this boarding school is full of paranormal creatures, but she does not know they are paranormal because she is human. So far, I do think it's interesting. I'm on page 260 out of like 570, so I'm pretty far into it. Up until page 180, it was super boring, and I'm being like blatantly honest. I was so bored with it. There was just a lot of sneaking around the fact that they were paranormal creatures, and she still doesn't know that they're paranormal creatures, and I was kind of over it. Like 180 pages of that, how much can you have? But now we're getting into the Jackson Gracie banter, and I love it. They are so feisty with each other. They joke all the time. He is super sweet, but he's mysterious, and I really enjoy his character so far. I'm curious to see why Jackson and Flint hate each other. So that will be interesting to see. Again, I'm enjoying it. I'm not loving it per se, but that could change within like 300 pages, and I'll keep you guys updated. So the first book I read is a Kindle book, and it's the continuation of a series, and that is The Ice Planet Holiday by Ruby Dixon. This is book 4.5 in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. It's not really a novella, but it's kind of a shorter novel, but not as short as a novella, if that makes sense. It's like a little more than a novella. This one I really liked because we get the point of view of multiple characters. We see a lot of babies being born as well, and it's just short and sweet and to the point. I did give this book 4.5 stars. I absolutely loved it, and I did like how unique the book was. They did bring some, I don't want to say domestic violence in it, but they had some aspects of domestic abuse from a past life, and they brought that in to the characters, so I thought that was interesting. We get to see more of Georgie's personality, which I think is super sweet. She is a great character, and I just really loved her first book. And overall, this was just a great book to read. It's super simple, sweet, to the point, and of course, as an Ice Planet Barbarian book, I absolutely love this. Oh, and by the way, this is like an adult romance, sci-fi, alien type book. So good. I definitely recommend this whole series if you want something short, but something that does have character, plot, and development in it, which is what I always look for in my books. So the next book I read, I don't currently have with me, unfortunately, because it was a library book, but I'm still going to talk about it anyway. So that book is The Shadow Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. This one I only gave 3.5 stars. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. To me, it is marketed as a YA fantasy. I got more of a YA romance-ish, but less epic fantasy, like way less epic fantasy. And I did feel like it was not fleshed out in the end. I felt like we had some good development in the beginning, and the end was just very flat. Nothing happened. Everyone had like a happy ending, and I was like, okay, sure. Again, it is a standalone, so standalones in YA tend to have some trouble sometimes with their endings, but I did enjoy it. So this follows a girl named Alessandra, however you pronounce her name. I did really enjoy her character. She reminded me a little bit of Selena Sardathian. She's very sarcastic. She gets what she wants. She is not afraid to say, hey, like, I want this person, like, this person's mine, and she just wants the king now. And her whole goal is she wants the Shadow King. She wants to woo him, marry him, and then kill him because she wants to be queen of this kingdom. I enjoyed the aspect that they tried to play with the fantasy, but to me it just felt very romance heavy, not fantasy heavy, and I just was not really involved. Like, involved in the book, infatuated with the book. It just wasn't my cup of tea, and yeah, I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. So the next book is another Kindle book. I got sent this book to review. I have my review on Goodreads. I will link it down below so you guys can check it out. I decided not to do a video review just because this is book 5 of the series, and I did do one for book 4, but I felt kind of like if you guys haven't read book 1, then I'm just going to spoil book 5 for you, and I don't feel the need to do that. In my little review right now that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to say characters' names. It's not going to be spoilers at all. It's just going to be more my opinions and just how I feel about them. Again, I recommend reading it. So before I get into this book, this is part of the Palm South University series by Candy Steiner. Absolutely love this book. This is Greek life, college, new adult, romance, character relationships. It has so many different stereotypes or different tropes. There's love triangle, CEO, office type trope. There's Greek life trope. There's friends to lovers, enemies to lovers. There's everything. This book has everything, and it's just so good, and the writing is just so easy to get into, and I absolutely love it. So this series, it takes place every fall and then spring semester of college, which I enjoy, and then every fall semester kind of has them talking about what they did over the summer and then kind of getting back into the fall semester. This book had less plot motions for me than it did have characters, but I still loved it. I did give it 5 stars. I did have a couple complaints, but like the book made me so emotional and just I loved it so much, so I just had to give it 5 stars. So this book is Ritual by Candy Steiner. This is book 5 of the Palm South University series. I honestly still can't figure out who this is on the cover. I think it's the newer guys that Erin talks to in this book, in her support group. I think this is him, but can't be sure. But basically, this book, I loved it. We're already in deep. This is book 5. You're getting all the character development. I wasn't a huge fan of Cassie and Adam, but I can't really complain too much because that's their characters and their relationship, and it's always going to be that way. So I personally don't know if Cassie and Adam are going to end up working out, to be honest, but we'll see. I loved Erin in this book. My gut feeling tells me Erin and Bear may have something in the end of this, but Erin is finally expressing herself and is finally getting over what happened to her the past 3 books. She's been through the ringer, and I really love that we're able to see her coming out of her shell, wanting to interact more with her sisters, stuff like that. And Bear in this book, I have no clue. Like, Bear just went off the wall and couldn't tell you what's happening with Bear. But again, book 6 is coming out in February, which is so soon, and I'm very excited. I had to wait a year and a half, I think. Or no, 2 years? I think this book came out 2 years ago, book 5. So yeah, I had to wait 2 years for PSU number 5. So I'm very excited PSU 6 is coming out. I think she said it's going to be a total of 7 books, but I don't remember. But this book was super good. Definitely check out Palm South University if that's something you are into. So that's my last Kindle book, and this is going to be the physical copy that I have. And the last book I read, and this is my most recent read, and this is Protect the Prince by Jennifer S. Stepp. This is book 2 in the Crown of Shards series. It's an epic fantasy. I gave this book 3.5 stars. It honestly did not capture my attention, and throughout the book, I felt like I kept putting it down because, again, I was busy, but busyness wasn't really an excuse for reading this book. I did enjoy it. I did like how we got some declaration of love at the end of this book. I thought that was so unique. I also love how Everly is just I love her character. She's just so phenomenal, and her character development is very slow, but the build-up is just the best, and we finally understand what a Winter Queen is in the end of this book. So I think it was really worth the wait, and I did enjoy it. I just, because my attention was not fully on this book 24/7, I had to give it a 3.5 instead of the 4 stars. But I'm definitely, if you saw my TBR, I'm definitely going to pick up the 3rd book to this series this month, hopefully. So I'm very excited to see kind of the ending and the wrap up and see if there is a continuation to the next book. But yeah, I'm very excited to pick that one up. So those are my recent reads from July 20th to August 3rd. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm hoping I get to read a little bit more in the month of August. We shall see. I shall keep you updated. I may or may not do some more vlog type videos depending on the time I have and what's happening. But I will definitely at least do my recent reads and some more life updates for you guys. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!